Hey, everybody. Good morning. Greetings, salutations from the Finley Hyundai Studios. It's The Drive. Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff on a feel-good Friday. Oh, coming at you here from Southern Utah on the airwaves, 99.5, 95.3 down in St. George, 93.1 in Cedar City, and, of course, 1450 in Parowan on the app, on the website, and streaming the show live on YouTube today as well. And Paulie, I was wrong. I thought Ole Miss was going to win or at least cover, but what a game last night as Mr. Beck gets the walk-off touchdown late, and the Miami Hurricanes punched their ticket to the national championship. I was watching this game mainly on my phone last night because I was watching my daughter dance, and I was over at that Dixie Desert Hills double overtime thriller. But man, oh man, we were treated to a good one last night, and I just hope tonight's game is just as entertaining.
Yeah, I hope it will be, but I don't know if it will be because
that was tough. It's gonna be tough to
top.
top.
Game to top, and yeah, the last drive for Miami was just one of the greatest drives in Miami football and ACC football history. Really, I mean, this was their one bid into the playoff with Miami. They didn't even win the conference. That was Duke. They much talked about if they should even be in, and now they're all the way in the national championship game. So 15-play, 75-yard drive at the end of the game that capped by Carson Beck. I mean, poetic justice, the guy that's been dragged through the mud more than anybody last year, the death threats, all the things he dealt with at Georgia. And you could just see as he's clearing it and he's kind of made the moment where he knows he's going to score, you can just see him just full of emotion. And he let out a primal scream when he got in the end zone, and it was just like, wow, Miami's back. And Scott Van Pelt was like trying to say that to Mario Cristobal on the post game last night. And he's like, hold on. And he's like, let me finish the question. I'll see if I can find the audio of that. But he's like, now that Miami's back, he's like, hold on. Cristobal said that. And he's like, that's not what I was going to ask. And he was like, let me get the whole question out. But, Miami is back. I think it's safe to say Miami's back. From 2000, the early 2000s, 2001, 2002, really when Larry Coker was there and Jimmy Johnson before that, they were one of the best programs in the country in football. They had studs year in, year out. And Miami is back to having first-round NFL draft picks on both sides of the ball. That Bain and Mesidor on the defensive side, and Malachi Toney might be the best receiver prospect not named Jeremiah Smith. The plays that guy made last night, that touchdown where it parted like the Red Sea, that 40-yard touchdown, and that catch on the sideline he made. I mean, this kid is a stud.
Yeah.
I love Miami's game last night.
Yep, it was a fast-paced, higher scoring game.
Yeah, went over.
I mean, the mighty Hurricanes defense definitely got tested by Ole Miss's offense in this game last night. Ole Miss had some big plays on the offensive side of the ball. And what did I tell you yesterday? I said Beck is going to have to I said he doesn't have to throw for 300. He's got to throw for like 250 and a couple touchdowns and not turn the ball over. And he ended up with 268, 2 scores passing, and it added that late touchdown running the football that ended up being the game winner chicken dinner.
And I think he had a pick off a deflection.
He did. He had one interception.
Yeah.
One interception. But you'll take that
but
stat
other than
line.
that, he played a pretty clean game. So, yeah, I thought for him, for a guy that had a lot of stuff going against him before the season, a lot of doubters, a lot of people that thought that this was a bad move for Cristobal in Miami bringing in Beck, being that he was kind of the fallen soldier from Georgia, just didn't play well at the end of his tenure there. But, you pair him with this superstar offensive line for Miami. That's one thing is Ole Miss didn't sack him much, but I thought that they really were the better team last night, even though it was such a close game. I think Miami just made the play after play after play. And, they were down 3 with what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? And they go on that 15-play, 75-yard drive. So,
and they're going to be pretty flush now to spend some money. Did you see how much money Miami is going to pocket after their run to the championship
Because they're
last
the
night?
sole. I think the ACC's paying them as the sole
ACC doesn't split
representative.
college football payouts.
That's right.
And so Miami gets to pocket all $20 million.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, there's a year NIL money for you.
Yeah.
And they get a $3 million travel expense for the national championship. But since it's a home game at Hard Rock Stadium, that's free money, Paul. That is free money because they started the season home against Notre Dame, and they had a hard time probably not looking ahead, seeing that the national championship was going to be in Miami. Unbelievable. Miami holds the ball for 40-plus minutes, has 400 yards of offense. They converted 10-plus third downs last night, had multiple fourth down conversions last night, had long, sustained drives, 4 drives of 13 plays or more last night, and they will play for the national championship in a home stadium against who? And we await that game tonight. Mendoza and Moore.
And I think a lot
Ducks
of
and
people,
Hoosiers.
A lot of people wanted Ole Miss. I think the story, like from all the group chats and texts I was exchanging with friends, asking them who they got, who they want. A lot of people said who they got was Miami. That I was talking to, but who they wanted to win was Ole Miss because of the story, the Lane Kiffin thing, just all the things that program went through this year. It would have been nice to see them playing for a title, but the consolation prize is you get Miami to be back. Miami's a factor in the college football world again, like it hasn't been since the early 2000s. So it was kind of a give or take. Pete Golding and Ole Miss, that was a hell of a story. But at the end of the day, it's the better team, I think, won. I think Miami was the better team. So, I think sometimes, the better team on paper doesn't always win, but this time I think they did. I think Miami was the favorite going into the game, and they won, they covered, and they made big plays when they had to. And that's what I summarize that game as, making big plays when you had to.
Man.
Especially Carson Beck.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Right around the water cooler, what is everybody talking about? There's going to be a buzz today about last night's college football game. There's going to be a buzz all day long before we get to kickoff of tonight's game, Hoosiers and Ducks. This broke right as we were getting off the air yesterday, but Mike McDaniel out for the Miami Dolphins.
Heard that, saw that. It's crazy.
You thought he might have survived because
they were saying mid-season that they were going to plan to stay with him and Tua. But I guess things change pretty quickly when Harbaugh becomes available.
Well,
I heard on a podcast that there were 6 available jobs or whatever at one point. This was before the 7th one opened up. But Harbaugh was called. There were 6 teams that contacted him that had availabilities, openings. There was one team that called Harbaugh with an active head coach. Everybody thinks it's Miami because they quickly fired McDaniel.
Yeah,
so,
well,
I think they were trying to
said
get
he's
him.
not taking any interviews this weekend. He said he's going to sit back, relax, watch the wild card weekend.
Yeah.
He's not taking any, and now it's already Friday.
Yeah.
And Monday will be here pretty quick, or Tuesday. He's not going to be out of work very long.
No, he's the hottest name on the market. Stefanski, too, but I think Harbaugh is just a more proven winner and a longer-term winner. So I think he's going to have his pick of the litter. Whichever team he wants to go to. Does he want to be with Genty in Vegas, or does he want to be with Jackson Dart in New York, or does he want to try, all these different avenues he could go. He could pick whichever avenue he wants to go down. He can pretty much name his number and years and all that because he's been a long-tenured great coach.
Did you see the numbers on what Mike McDaniel will make not to coach Miami?
No.
You're getting up, you're going to work this morning. You might want to this will just make you sick. For the next couple years, Mike McDonald to not coach the Miami Dolphins will get $20.93 a minute.
Yeah.
$1,255 per hour. That's a nice hourly wage, Paul. How'd you like to make $12.55 an hour? $1,255
that's pretty good.
an hour. $30,136 per day.
Yeah.
$210,000 a week, and over $916,000 a month. Almost $1 million a month.
Yeah.
To not coach for the next 2 years. Left on his contract. Whatever's left on his contract.
Yeah, and it looks like McDaniel is rumored. Jordan Schultz on Twitter, who's a NFL Insider host of the Schultz Report. Why is Draymond Green talking about football? Some of the podcasts he's on, but he says Mike McDaniel is likely to get head coaching interviews this cycle.
I think so.
But if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he'd be a very hot OC candidate. One logical destination would be Washington. McDaniel is extremely close with Dan Quinn, has great admiration for him and what he's done for his career, and previously worked in San Francisco with GM Adam Peters. So Schultz is linking McDaniel to Washington if potentially he doesn't get a head coaching job.
Well,
and
look,
I heard Quinn helped McDaniel through some alcohol issues and some substance abuse issues early in his career.
Well,
when they were in Atlanta.
Yeah, and he's going to be a hot coordinator somewhere if he's not a head coach.
He can call offense.
Because, look,
he might just not be a good head coach, but he can call plays.
Hey, I'll guarantee you if Clint Kubiak gets hired away from Seattle in this cycle as the offensive coordinator and gets a head coaching job, I would have no qualms about having Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks. And you're probably thinking the same thing.
I would like him
for the Washington Committee. Let's see what he could do with Jaden Daniels.
Because there's going to be some names like Dayball. You probably don't think he's going to get a head coaching job, but Dayball will be an offensive coordinator. He's been linked to a lot of teams. Davis Webb, the Broncos quarterback coach, with how good Bo Nix has been. A lot of people say he might skip the coordinator level altogether and go all the way to head coach as a quarterbacks coach. Former player in the league, Davis Webb, former quarterback.
Sure.
But I still think that McDaniel might be the best of all the candidates that have recently come available, and he might be the best of the litter. So I think he'll be a hot name. But, yeah, I kind of hope the Redskins or the Commanders get him. It'd be nice.
Good stuff. Wild day. Man, do you want to hear the clip? Paulie, did you want to hear the clip where you kind of led with this? This was SVP getting annoyed with Mario Cristobal saying the same thing over and over and over.
I think this might be the clip I saw. Yeah.
Is this what you were referring to earlier?
Yeah.
I was looking for
exchange,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me see.
It was awkward. I saw this live, so.
Okay, well.
Let's see if we can get this.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not right now, right?
Yeah. I forgot I've got two feeds going. I've got the couple feeds going.
That's right.
My goodness.
It's all right.
But what we can do is I can show you the game winner, Paulie. This is how it sounded last night. This is the championship semifinal, and this is how it ended up down the stretch. Give it a listen. Yeah, I mean, that's fun. That's fun. I mean, Beck said he blacked out, blacked out for a moment last night. What about that performance? I thought that was a great performance for Beck.
I know it was great. It really was encapsulated his career in one game. You know, there was the ups, the downs, but when he needed to make a play and a drive, a 75-yard, 15-play drive, he did. So I was happy for Carson Beck. This is a guy I think that had a tough year last year, both on and off the field, and he did it.
I know this has been a long journey for you. We talked about it this time last year. You couldn't even move your arm, let alone throw a football. How do you, a year later, play for a national championship, young man?
It feels real good, don't it? It feels real good to be a Cane, baby. I'm so proud of this team. I'm so thankful for all these fans, man. This is who we do it for, man. The whole city. We got y'all on our back, baby. Go Canes.
I know this has been
I mean, this is a kid that's had quite the journey, hasn't it, Paulie? I mean, this has not been an easy path for Beck. And, you know, all the money is one thing, but dealing with the pressure, dealing with the backlash, the hate, the spam, the death threats, you know, and it's kind of part of the territory now, but we're asking college kids to act like professionals and try to block out a lot of noise. And sometimes that's tough for some individuals to do. And man, the way he started the season beating Notre Dame, and now the fact that he is in the national championship, his moxie, his draft stock. I mean, I wasn't sure exactly where he fits in the NFL. Watching some of the throws last night, though, Paulie, this kid's got a chance.
Yeah, he does.
Got a chance.
Yeah, later round pick maybe. I don't know how early he'll go, but
no, I don't know.
I think he could definitely make a spot in the NFL, though.
Yeah,
he can find a way onto a team and stick around for a while, just because he's got a little bit of swagger to him. He's got a little moxie, as you say, and I think that he could be a productive NFL backup. Maybe get his chance as a starter, because he is a little more mobile than you think. You know, he's not a statue back there. He can run around. He can hit open receivers, throw guys open. He did a lot of things last night, I think, for NFL scouts that'll have them kind of giving him a second look when they're thinking about drafting him.
You know, this was the final play, Paulie. This was a little bit of controversy, especially on social media last night. What did you make of the final play?
Yeah, people were trying to say there was pass interference, but the throw wasn't there.
This let me show it to our viewers watching the show here, and you can listen in. This is kind of how the final play unfolded last night in down in Arizona at Glendale Stadium.
Yeah,
I mean, this was is good of a throw as you could probably throw. It's in the back corner of the end zone. If he can get his hands on it and he's not restricted, I think there is an argument to be made that maybe he would have had room to get at least 1 foot in bounds, Paulie. All right, tell me what you see here. Sideline view.
It's that last play. And, you know, a lot of people, I'm sure, are saying if you're an Ole Miss fan, is there PI involved? You rarely see them called. You know, anytime there's a Hail Mary, there's a lot of back and forth.
It's a Hail Mary, though. A lot of contact just about every time. So
he's restricted. He's running. You don't want to see a flag decide that game, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if they put the ball at the... Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, it's close, but yeah, I wouldn't have called that if I was the official. I think they did the right thing there.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. That play that was talked about a lot last night.
Yeah.
Talked about a lot last night. So, you know, dude, I'm glad we're media, not officials. That is a thankless, tough job.
Yeah.
And I'm not upset that they didn't flag that. But this is SVP. Let me. This is what you were looking for.
On the headset once again, Mario, Scott Van Pelt. We meet again, man. I thank you for taking time in the midst of this celebration. If I've got this right, the last time you played at home was NC State on the 15th of November. More than 2 months later, you'll play on that field for a national title. As you allow yourself to imagine what that will feel like to be back in front of your folks in your part of the world, what do you imagine that will be?
Well, Scott, again, first and foremost, thank you for having me. I know you got some stuff to do too, brother. But, you know, honestly, you know, you've already kind of known that I'm the most boring interview in sports. So I don't think I'm so process-oriented, and all I'm thinking about is getting in there with these dudes, checking to see how they're doing. Really proud of them. They overcame not only the scoreboard, but we had a bunch of guys banged up tonight. And we've been on the road, like you mentioned, for 5 straight games. These guys are too young to have ever seen the movie Major League, you know? But that's what it feels like. Like we've been on a plane going all over the world, and we finally get to go home and play in front of our people.
I laughed when you made that reference, Mario, because I'm thinking you're going to have to explain to your guys what the hell you're talking about, what Major League means, but they'll get it. You mentioned being banged up, and you told Laura that you had a bunch of guys that had the flu as well. And I'm interested in this. You come to the U if you're a young guy because you want to play on nights like this, and you have to throw some freshmen into the deep end, man, and they show up and show out. What did they show you when their numbers were called in the fourth quarter of a national semifinal game?
Brother, they showed us what they showed us on tape in high school and what they've been showing us on Green Tree practice field, which is where you earn the right? You earn the opportunity out here on that field that all those greats that came before us got it done. So, again, they were prepared for the moment. It wasn't too big for them, but they were called upon for some big plays, and they got it done. But quite honestly, it wasn't surprising that they performed to the level they did.
Yeah, I mean, really, later in the interview is when SVP gets a little bit annoyed, but he warned him. He's like, I'm the most boring interview in America. But then he gave a pretty good first answer.
Yeah, he did.
It digressed from there. I'm not going to play the whole 5 minutes. You want to watch it, you can go find the clip from the post game last night on Sports Center with SVP. A lot of people, a lot of Duck fans, not a big fan of Mario Cristobal bailing on Eugene and going to Miami. I thought he did a heck of a job getting linemen recruited to Miami. He did a heck of a job getting the linemen like Penei Sewell. I was a fan when he recruited Penei Sewell. I haven't really jumped in on the Canes bandwagon like you have. You've been a little bit more on Miami than I have. I got to give you credit. You've kind of seen this team and this talent, and I did not have this team going to the national championship in my bracket. I will be the first to admit it. I thought Georgia was going to beat Ole Miss. I thought Georgia was going to come out of that side of the bracket, and they were going to play either Indiana or Texas Tech. I did not think it was going to be Oregon. Oregon, though, took it to Tech. It wasn't even close, and now we get that game tonight to see what the title game will look like. And again, I will say this. For as much as I whine and as much as I keep pounding, I hate where college sports is heading. Somebody needs to come in and do something about it. When are we going to stop the madness? When are we going to have the salary cap? When are we going to have contracts for these kids? And when are we going to have kids stopping playing for 5 teams in 5 years? When we get to this point in the year, and I watched the game last night, I go,
it's great.
The product is unbelievable.
It is.
The product is unbelievable, and that's why I love college football, and I'll deal with all the other crap. Because the game itself is why we love to watch, and we love to be a fan, and we love to know this game's coming down to the wire. Is Beck going to make the play, or is the Ole Miss defense going to find a takeaway? What's going to happen? It really came down to the last drive of the game. And, oh, my goodness, Ole Miss, with 18 seconds left.
Yeah, they had a shot.
They had a shot. If they would have had one more timeout, they probably could have went underneath one more time. And had one more play, and then they would have had a lot more creativity. I think a lot more, if they were to say the 20-yard line, a chance to score instead of, the 40-yard line where they had to throw it up into the corner. And obviously, you just saw the final play before the Cristobal comments. But they earned a trip to the national championship.
Yeah.
They get that $3 million travel budget because they don't have to travel. They get all $20 million of their championship money so far because the ACC doesn't split the payouts. So, I'll tell you what, Miami, you make up a Canes fan right now, the coffee tasting real good, Paulie.
Yeah.
The coffee tasting, like the best coffee that you've ever had because it's been a long time since you tasted a cup of coffee this good as a Miami Canes fan. It's been 25 years.
Yeah.
And it tastes good after 25 years. Not like a fine wine or anything. It just tastes good. Oh, my goodness. We are off and running. We're going to take a break. When we come back, so much to get to. Oh, my gosh, we were loaded today. How about the Utah Jazz last night?
Yeah.
And how about that? How about that high school double overtime girls basketball game between Dixie and Desert Hills? Sensational stuff. It was a bloodbath. Oh, my goodness. Kids were fouling out left and right. Both teams wanted that one bad. It felt like a playoff game at the Thunderdome last night. And then also Utah Tech was in action, a game you heard last night right here on the Fan Sports Network. So we have a ton of stories to get into when we come back, but we're off and running. Got to take a break. It is The Drive. Hey, baby. Yeah, Friday. Paulie, I love Fridays, man.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like a kid in high school? It's the weekend, baby.
I hear you. Stay up late,
Oh,
sleep in, whole deal.
man, oh, man. The only thing for me this weekend is my wife's going one direction. I'm going the other direction. She's going up north for a drill competition. I'm staying in town for the high school basketball game tonight. And then my daughter's got a couple basketball games tomorrow. So she's going to watch one kid. I'm staying to watch the other kid. Want to go watch a basketball game with me this weekend, buddy? We never watch basketball games together.
Yeah, it's rare. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Love having you in here on the drive on a Friday morning show today. Brought to you by One Health. One Health got a brand new doctor, Dr. Carl Turner, board certified in family medicine, over a decade of experience. And so he'll see anyone, the whole family, newborns, kids. He can do women's health. Yeah, he can check grandpaps' blood pressure, as I like to say. Big on compassion, big on connection. Does balloon art for the kids. One Health welcomes Dr. Turner. And if you have kids in sports, routine physicals, checkups, all in one place, perfect for your busy family. One Health here in St. George. We've got a lot to talk about here. Let's start with the local stuff last night, Paul, because the Utah Jazz, the Utah Tech Trailblazers, we had a lot going on last night.
Yeah.
And you were here in the command center last night.
I was.
And, Tech was riding those two straight conference wins, kicked off WAC play.
Yeah.
At 7-7, you're sitting there, okay, preseason 500, not great, but not horrible. You're just kind of 500. You are what you are. Your record is what it is. And then all of a sudden, they go and beat SUU in the opener, and then they go on the road and beat Abilene Christian pretty soundly.
Yeah, by 14 points. They beat Abilene by.
And then you got an 0-3 Cal Baptist team that seemed like a caged animal that had to start their first 3 road games of WAC play. And then they get Tech at home last night. Mm-hmm. And they were a pretty motivated Lancer team. This is Rod last night right here on the Fan Sports Network. This is kind of the last play of the first half. And it was a struggle in the first half to just stay within striking distance of Cal Baptist last night.
11-point lead, final 5 seconds. Malonga way out top. Drives inside the paint, puts up the shot, good, with 1 second left, and there's the halftime horn. And Trailblazers get a bucket at the buzzer to cut this lead back down to 9, 40-31.
Yeah, 40-31 at the break. Ethan Potter was tremendous last night. Team high 20, but Blazers kind of fade there in the second half and end up losing by, 12 last night?
12 points. And Rod's keys to the game before the game, he was talking about Dominique Daniels. That's the guy that was
grad guard that's preseason player of the year in the WAC, yes.
So he had 20, and his average is 21. So he was right around his average. You didn't really expect much more or less from him, maybe a little more. But he played 33 minutes and was good, and he did what he was supposed to do, get his average pretty much. But Martell Williams and Devin Malcolm off the bench. Malcolm played 16 minutes, scored 20 points. It was 5 of 9 from the field. Just couldn't miss when he was on the floor for the most part as a bench player. So that really hurt Utah Tech as a guy coming off the bench scoring 20 points in 16 minutes. I mean, that was just like microwave offense for the Lancers and Rick Croy. And, yeah, I mean, they was a little deceiving going in. You were looking at 2-0 versus 0-3 in the conference. You were thinking, okay, maybe this is a winnable game. But on the road, it proved to be tough, and Utah Tech got behind the 8 ball in the second half. That clip we played of them cutting it to 9 was about as small of a margin as it was the entire second half. Most of the time, it was double digits.
Didn't get boat raced, but never really felt like they were in a position to win that game last night.
I would agree with that.
It was, they fought. CBU just played better. And it's tough to win. I don't care what conference you are in the country. I don't care if you're in the Big 12, the ACC, or the WAC. I look at the Santa Clara Gonzaga game last night, West Coast Conference game, in the Kennel, in Spokane. Packed house like it always is up there in Spokaloo. And Santa Clara's tied 37-37 and probably should have the lead over Gonzaga at the half. That's the number 7 team in the country. And then what happens in the second half, Paulie? Zags get EK going, start to hit some threes, energize the crowd, and they run away. This might be the Herb Sinnick. We saw Utah Tech play Santa Clara in Santa Clara, and the final score was 90-80, and that was the game Trujillo shoved, and got the guy in the face, and he got ejected, had to do a 1-game suspension. Yeah. Everybody lost their minds, and Deadspin's picking it up in TMZ. But this is a Santa Clara team that started 4-0 in conference play. And you think, okay, I can play a half on the road, but can you put a full game together on the road? And that's really difficult to do. I don't care what conference you're talking about in the country. They end up winning by 12. Gonzaga wins 89-77, and a lot of people are like, ooh, Santa Clara, 13-5, 4-1. They played, the number 7 or 8 team in the country to a 12-point game on the road. Gonzaga improves to 17-1. They're 5-0 in West Coast Conference play. That's a pretty good effort, but it's still tough to win on the road. Yeah. And Utah Tech wasn't even in as good a position as Santa Clara was against Gonzaga last night.
Yeah,
is the point I'm trying to make.
No. I think Utah Tech was, 9 was about as close as it got for the most part in this game, besides the early, first 10 minutes of play. Once the lead had been established by Cal Baptist, they kind of held the lead and kind of ran with it for a while. So there were some fouls, some helter-skelter at the end, but realistically, Utah Tech called off the Dogs with about a minute left and just kind of let the clock run out because it was a 12-point margin, and I think the spread was 10.
Yeah, 9.5, 10-ish.
So it was.
How good are the odds makers? You're thinking Utah Tech's 2-0, Baptist is 0-3 in conference, but on the road they had that number almost
pinned to the needle. Yeah, I mean,
with a minute and a half, 2 minutes to go, you're like, which way is it going to go? Utah Tech gets a 3 or something, and they cover. If not, they don't. That's how it came down to those odds. And it's like, how do those guys know what's going to happen between CBU and Utah Tech? But they get those numbers so tight.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The Utah Tech women's basketball team gave Cal Baptist all it could handle here at home last night, but a late Lancer run proved to be too much. 75-67 the final. So Utah Tech's women lose at home by 8. They're now 5-8 and 0-3 in WAC play. And so it was kind of a double dagger last night for the Trailblazers, men and women losing on the hardwood.
Looming for them is a date with UVU, the conference leader in the WAC for the men, that is, and the women on Saturday. So it should be a tough test come this weekend up in Orem.
I agree.
For the men, that is. That'll be tough.
Because they were playing last night.
Yeah, they won again.
Thunderbirds were playing last night against Utah Valley, and Utah Valley won again, yes. 89-72. For what it's worth, they did cover the spread. They were nearly 20-point underdogs.
Yeah, they were.
And now SUU will have to go to Cal Baptist tomorrow. And Utah Tech and Utah Valley will get that in-state rivalry game fired up. So should be a good one. We'll have it for you tomorrow night. UVU, Utah Tech men's basketball right here tomorrow night on the Fan Sports Network from up at the UCCU Center. And then next Thursday and Saturday, the 15th and 17th of January, Tech men are back at home. So that'll be nice. So you'll be able to get out and see the guys and get things going. We've got a couple other things I want to get into. How about the Jazz last night, Paulie? I'm going to touch on the Jazz, and then we'll get to the high school games in just a minute here. Talking some local sports. Thanks for locking us in, loading us up. Show today brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. Telling everybody I was out there last weekend for the Coral Canyon Amateur. Zach Feltz ended up winning it, former Crimson golfer, former Utah Tech golfer. He's now playing at VCU out in Richmond, Virginia. But got one season of eligibility left. A great win there. Course is pure, though. $80 Coral Canyon, Paulie. 18 holes with the car, with the range balls to warm up, and lunch. the rest of the month of January. So call out there, 435-688-1700 for your tee times. We've got a couple things here. Let's go right to the end, Paulie. Should we just go right to the end here, the Jazz?
Yeah.
I mean, we could go through, but this is the way it all kind of filtered out at the very end. Here is the final play. How about Keontae George for the Utah Jazz? Bring on out them Utah Jazz.
Many times, 23. He's hit 6 of 11 from downtown. Keontae, pressure. Trying to break that pressure. Does. Stop and go, dribble drive. Step back, elbow. Take back. Take back.
Take that, Big T says.
Yeah, that's got the people happy. I mean, that's creating your own shot. You know, that's something Utah's needed for a while, and the ball didn't go anywhere else but Keontae's hands that possession. Maybe he is becoming the lead dog for the Jazz.
I'm high on Keontae. He is playing great. Utah wins at home. They get off the 5-game losing streak. They beat Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks 116-114, the final score in that game last night. And they were so close against OKC the other night. They lose in overtime. This young team, I'll say this, Paulie, this young team is a lot more enjoyable to watch this year than last year. I loved what the roles have been defined as. I love what Kevin Love means to this team. I love what Keontae means to the team. I'm bummed that Walker Kessler is out for the season. That sucks. We've had that happen. We had Hendricks out for the season last year. Seems like we've had a bit of bad luck on some season-ending injuries to some young pups. But good win for the Jazz. 26, 10, and 8 assists for Cooper Flagg last night, but the Jazz win. Markkanen had 33 last night. Huge performance. Markkanen and Keontae, these two, I know they're probably not going to both be all-stars, but they're playing at an all-star caliber level. Look at the stats. Like, they're right in the mix statistically as a reserve for the all-star game.
Yeah.
And Kevin Love, played 24 minutes last night. The old man, 10 points. They were plus 13 with Love on the floor last night.
Wow.
He had the highest plus-minus on the Jazz team. And yet he was only 1 of 6 from 3. And again, 10 points and 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
But plus-minus, when he was on the floor, the KG vet, making things a little tougher on Cooper Flagg and company. But Markkanen, 14 of 26. Sensabaugh was solid last night. He dropped 14. Walter Clayton Jr. got a little bit more increase in minutes, even with Kyle Anderson back from an injury. And he scored 12 points last night off the bench. Filipowski had 8 off the bench. But the heavy lifting, 4 starters in double figures. And Cody Williams, who got the start because Ace Bailey continues to be out, he even had 8 points.
Yeah.
And he was a lottery pick from 2 years ago for the Jazz that really hasn't started to shine yet.
Yeah.
So Collier had 6 helpers. I like that. Markin had 4. Williams had 4. Keontae had 7. 32 assists on 47 made baskets for the Jazz. That should make Will Hardy happy.
Yeah, that's sharing the basketball to a T there. That's good. That's good work from the Jazz from the assist standpoint.
So Jazz win at 116-114. And, Lauri Markkanen helping the Jazz. Keontae there with that big bucket, helping the Jazz, some nifty dribbling to get that shot off. And the losing streak is over. Not fun losing 5 in a row in the association, but it's fun to break it. And
it's fun to be 5 wins away from your season-long win total about, 37 games into the season.
True.
So
true.
Is it
and Klay
37?
And they had to dodge 6 made threes, 6 from Klay Thompson last night.
Yeah.
So Flagg had his double-double, but Klay was draining. Anthony Davis had 21 and 11. Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, they got a kind of a big 3 there, you would think. And yet the Jazz win. Yeah. And why did the Jazz win? I'm going to tell you, Paulie. 25 points off forcing 21 Dallas turnovers. That's why they won the game.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
the difference. Mavericks head to Chicago on Saturday. Jazz host Con Knipple, who's very much pushing Cooper Flagg, former Duke teammates. One was the number 1 pick. The other one was the number 4 pick, right? Charlotte took him at 4, if I'm not mistaken, right in front of Ace Bailey. And he's been tremendous this year. He has adapted better than I thought to the NBA game for Charlotte.
Yeah, he's good.
What are the odds right now on Rookie of the Year? Because I'm sure Cooper is favored, but I bet it's closer than people realize. Because not a lot of people watching Charlotte Hornets basketball, especially on the west side of the country. But he's been really good this year.
I can get that up real quick here.
Yeah. Sensational season for Con. I don't have his stats memorized off the top of my head, but I've been seeing him pop on SportsCenter, and I've been seeing some nights where he's been leading the charge. And I think he's got to be right in the
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, what is it?
Cooper Flagg minus 900. So he's kind of
my gosh,
runaway.
that heavy of a favorite.
But Con is the next guy, plus 700. He's the next guy.
Might be some value. If you think he's going to keep getting better and say Cooper has a hiccup or gets injured, that's not that crazy that Con could win it.
My guy, 4th guy down the list. So Cooper Flagg, Con Knipple, VJ Edgecombe, all really highly drafted guys.
Yeah.
But I love this guy coming out of Maryland, Derek Queen, 40-1. He's the fourth lowest odds.
What's his number?
DQ
down with the Pellies, right?
Yeah, he is. I always loved his game. I did.
Yeah,
and he's been a good little baller for the Pelicans. I like it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, I want to finish up the hour. Tremendous high school basketball game last night. Tremendous. Do need to get to a quick break, though. We'll talk about it when we come back. Recap some of the local scores. And then we got a big second hour. We'll get to some more of the regional stuff. But how about them Utah Jazz getting a nice win last night for the faithful up there at the Delta Center. All right, quick timeout, and we are back in a flash. Don't touch that dial. Hanging out with us here. We'll wrap up hour 1. If you missed it or haven't heard what went down last night, Desert Hills and Dixie playing a huge local Region 9 girls basketball game, and it did not disappoint. It went to double overtime. We'll talk about it when we return. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you in on the Fan Sports Network on a Friday morning. It's Feel Good Friday, right, Paulie?
That's right.
Feel Good Friday. Thanks for locking us in, loading us up, as I like to say. Show today brought to you by our friends at Game Day Men's Health. How about this? Anytime now through the end of January, you can go in, and Paulie and I might go do this today, and we can get a free body composition scan. No cost to you, no obligation to you. You get all your real data back, your percentage of body fat, your BMI. Gives you all, I'm not going to go through all the things that it gives you because you won't understand half of them because I don't understand half of them. But they'll explain it all to you once you do this body scan. It's free. Normally they charge $35, nominal fee, very good value, but that's free. New Year's resolution, it's January. Fitness goals are out there. People want to put on some muscle, shed a few pounds, eat healthier, whatever your goals are. Go get after it and get it done. Paulie set some really big goals, working with our friends at Soda. We're going to be telling you about his fitness journey in the weeks to come. The other thing that's cool with this Game Day Men's Health body scan that's free right now, you need to stop on over there on the Riverside Drive location, is they are doing a 60-day challenge. It's a body transformation challenge. And they're going to be awarding the winners at the end of March. So you got now through the end of January to get in on the challenge. And then at the end of March, after 60 days, they're gonna give some prizes out. Free peptides, free month of vitamin injections, a month of personal training with their partner at Habit Fitness. No gimmicks. No before and after pressure, just measurable progress, and this will help you stay accountable. It gives you a clear starting point, a reason to check back in 60 days. So just stop into Game Day Men's Health on Four-Master Drive and get started with that free body scan today. Last night, yesterday on the show, Paulie, I said I'm going to go over to the Dixie Desert Hills girls basketball game.
Yeah.
We had Coach Ezra Irvin. We were very impressed with him. We had him on before Christmas. The new Desert Hills head girls basketball coach took over for Ron DeNoss in the offseason, who retired from teaching and coaching in the Washington County School District. And we had Casey Winters on the show, was it back on Tuesday morning this week, because they had the Pineview Panthers. Or no, they had the Snow Canyon Warriors, excuse me. And Dixie was able to stay undefeated, and they beat Snow Canyon, who hadn't lost a region game in 57 games, basically 4 years of region games. They've been undefeated. Livy Hamlin, Jensen, Kelly Howard, all those, the core seniors that graduated last year. We see Livy up at BYU. And then they had Desert Hills last night on the road. And then they got Pineview tomorrow night because they have, so they have these three big games in a week. And Dixie had their hands full last night, but in double overtime, they dodge a running three from Tess Peterson inside a half court that would have sent it to triple overtime, and Dixie wins 65-62, Paulie.
Wow, thriller. How about that?
As far as girls basketball games go, competitive, there was fouls. I mean, Addie Winters fouled out, and Miley Villanueva fouled out. Like, arguably the two best players on each team. I hated to see that. In fact, I don't recollect every single foul, but the two that they fouled out on, I would have loved to see them, let them play through it. One was kind of an awkward rebound where Villanueva was kind of over the back, but she really didn't force contact, and the underneath official didn't call it. The outside official did. I was like, let that go. And then Addie Winters looked like she was going straight up, and so often the shooter goes in and initiates the contact. She's sitting there straight up, and Addie gets her fifth foul, and I wanted to see her stay on the court. I want to see the best players decide the game in crunch time. Now, I'm not saying the officials did a bad job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there was some tough calls that ended up checking out some stars in this game. And so in that double overtime period, both teams were struggling. It was 60-60 going into the last 4 minutes of that second overtime, and they scored 5 and 2 points. And you had a few players on each team that had fouled out. So it was one of those epic, hotly contested games. I already can't wait for the rematch, Paulie.
Yeah,
I'm already fired up for the rematch. It's going to be awesome. All right, hour 1 in the books. Big hour 2 coming up when we come back. It's The Drive.
Sunshine. I took a tab and felt the
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's The Drive on the Fan Sports Network. Hour 2 coming straight at you here on a feel-good, football-filled Friday, Paulie.
Yeah.
We are loaded. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're just hopping in your car, you're just getting going on your Friday morning, thanks for locking us in, loading us up. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know if people say thank you enough in this industry, but we love having you listen to us every weekday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. And look, first hour, a lot of local stuff. The Jazz win last night. Keontae, big shot. They beat Cooper Flagg, and a big night from Klay Thompson and Anthony Davis. All those guys, 20-plus points. Flagg nearly had a triple-double, but Markkanen has 33. Keontae goes bananas. Kevin Love's plus-minus was great, and the Jazz snap a 5-game losing streak. Then we told you a little bit about the Utah Tech game, had some highlights from that one. Didn't go Juddy's way last night. They lose down in Riverside. Also mentioned J.D. Gustin, Utah Tech women. They fall at home by 8 last night to the Lancers. Even didn't get into extensive detail, but told you a little bit about SUU playing and falling to an in-state rival in WAC play last night as UVU gets the win up at the UCCU Center. And then right at the end of the hour there, we chatted a little bit about the double overtime thriller last night in Region 9 girls basketball as Dixie stays undefeated.
Impressive.
15-0. Casey Winters going, woo, that was a tight one. And him and Ezra Irvin, the coaches for each respective team last night. I mean, I was kind of, I'm sitting there watching the Ole Miss game against Miami on my phone, and I'm sitting by Lulu West's dad, Kyle West, and right down the pathway is Shane. One of his daughter's a Desert Hills player, and Shane's great high school sponsor, Appliance Wholesalers Plus, and Jesse Shipp, his partner's there. And I look over to the left of me, and I'm sitting there saying hi to Merity Winters, Casey Winters' wife. And I was talking with Kelly Smith last night, one of Juddy's longtime right-hand mans, him and Gordon Jolly, or Crowshaw's, excuse me. It was at the university. He was out to watch a high school girls basketball game last night. Chatted with Kelly the whole first half and had just caught up with him, hadn't talked to him for a while. It was just fun to be out there. The night before we were doing the Desert Hills Pineview boys game, and Jadon Blake's in the stands. And it's just fun to see people out in the community taking in some local sports. And that was a really good one last night. I left that game going, wow. High school girls basketball is on the rise. And the Dixie Desert Hills double overtime game, 65-62 Flyers win it, wasn't the only close game last night. Hurricane edged Crimson 48-46 in girls basketball.
Tight one.
Pineview did beat Cedar by 14 in the other game, but there was two really good ones. And we will have another game live on the Fan Sports Network tonight. We'll actually have two streaming. I will be over at Crimson Cliffs. Paulie, you will be over at Dixie High School tonight. So
that's right.
Paulie and Caden will be anchoring our coverage in the Dixie game tonight at the hangar, and I'll be over there for that Crimson Cliffs game at the Field House as they host Hurricane. That'll be our radio game, Crimson Hurricane, but you'll be able to watch the Dixie game on the live stream, our YouTube page. Links will be on our website. KSLSports.com takes all our games on their site as well, so lots of ways you can access either game tonight, all presented by the Boulevard. So that's what's going on in local sports. With the first hour, we spent a lot of time on that. Did spend some time breaking down. Had some audio from Mario Cristobal and from Beck, and obviously played that controversial final Hail Mary. Was it pass interference? Was it not pass interference? Well, it probably was pass interference, but it wasn't because it wasn't called by the letter of the law. Should it have been flagged? Probably. Do you want your officials to determine the game, or do you want players to determine the game? I mean, it's kind of that gray area, Paulie, where it's a no call all day long if you're a Miami fan, and it's a PI call all day long if you're an Ole Miss fan.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think in that situation, late in the game like that, there's no way you make that call on a Hail Mary.
I wouldn't want to make that call.
Throw. Like they're just hoping for that call. So, he obviously his first play is to catch the ball, but the second play is to try and draw a PI and get the ball for another play, a second added onto the clock. I mean, that could have been a disaster if that was how it ended. If Ole Miss got another play and then scored on it, I mean, I don't know. I think that was a desperation throw. It was a good throw. It was right there. There was probably a little contact. I agree, but you can't throw that flag there. And I know that people say you should officiate the game from minute 1 to minute 60 the same, but at some point you got to just know time and situation, and that's not a time to throw a flag there.
31-28 to 27. It went over the over-under of 52.
Yeah.
Trinidad Chambliss, 277 yards last night for Ole Miss.
What's his name?
Fletcher Jr.
Lacey looks to be one of the best running back prospects. Not this year's draft, but next year's draft.
Yeah,
he's already coming back to Ole Miss.
Did I see Ray Lewis consoling him a little bit? Was that Ray that was consoling him in the post game? I saw a clip of that on social media, I believe. As soon as the game was over, I checked out of the post game because Gonzaga and Santa Clara was going last night, so I was watching that after, and I was driving home from the gym. I was leaving. I was literally the double overtime game was literally going down to the wire as I was watching the final play of the Miami game last night with Ole Miss. They were almost simultaneously inning. I was watching the end of that last throw into the corner of the end zone as just like seconds after Dixie beat Desert Hills in double OT. And that leaves Oregon, Indiana tonight. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. Let's crank it up. Indiana, 3.5 point favorites. This total is even lower than last night's total, Paulie.
Yeah.
Last night's total was 52 points. Vegas thought over-under would be scored.
Well,
Tonight's
48. 47. Okay.
48 and a half on DraftKings right now.
All right.
And you have...
Interesting.
I mean, is it this cut and dry? The number one pick in the 2026 NFL draft will be the winning quarterback of tonight's game. Is it that cut and dry?
What people are saying.
I'm throwing.
You're throwing that out there. Okay.
I don't know. I haven't listened to anybody else on that topic.
I don't know. I don't know if you could boil it down to one game because Mendoza's beaten Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. He beat Oregon on the road at Autzen. Like he had a great regular season, and I hope it doesn't boil down to just one game for him because he's had a really memorable year. So. I think he is the better prospect of the two. If I were to be picking number one, I would rather have Mendoza personally.
Moore beat James Madison in a shootout at home. Then blanked Texas Tech. Oregon's defense made things really difficult for the Red Raiders. You look at Indiana. They watched Alabama nick OU and knock John Mateer and company out. Then they beat Bama to get into this semifinal game. So it's the 1 seed Indiana, the 5 seed Oregon from Atlanta, Georgia, a 5:30 kickoff tonight. And boy, oh boy, Kurt Signetti has got to be a big part of this storyline tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he's got to be looking at his journey and his path in coaching. And I wonder if he has to pinch himself and be like, this has really happened. I've really done this with Indiana Hoosier football. I mean, I am one win away from beating a team a second time that we already beat in the Big Ten regular season from going to the Natty. For Signetti and his path, I mean, I call me crazy, but I kind of want to see this guy in the NFL, Paul. And I don't know if he translates, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, what would he do if he was the Raiders head coach? Could he turn this Raiders organization around in 3 years? Could he do it? Part of me thinks he could.
I'd be interested to see it, but I think I've said before he's going to stay. I think he's got a really good thing going right now.
Well, he's got an eye for talent. I'll give him that in recruiting because he's gotten players.
No 5-star players on the roster, but yet they're the number 1 seed. They're undefeated.
How many 5-stars are on Oregon's roster? 4, 5, probably.
Let me look.
6.
I'll tell you right now.
How many are on Miami's roster? 3 or 4. You know, I'm sure Ole Miss had 2 or 3. And for Indiana to be one of those 4 teams with no 5-star athletes tells you that Kurt Signetti and his assistants have an eye for athletes and are good recruiters. That's what that translates to tell me, at least. So, Pat Kuntz, the other Indiana assistant coaches. This is just his second year as the Hoosiers head coach. And Paulie, this is one of the more stunning rises from dust all the way up to dynamite. This is a dynamite team. They came from nowhere. This is one of the most stunning rises we've ever seen in college football.
The Oregon has 6 former 5-star prospects compared to 0 on James Madison. This was an article talking about that matchup, but those are 6 recruits that are 5-star athletes that Indiana has 0 and JMU had 0. And Texas Tech had plenty of them, but two of the three teams that Oregon's played don't have the 5-star talent, but Indiana, for one way, is getting it done with Signetti, with Mendoza, with Omar Cooper, the guy who caught that amazing touchdown against Penn State in the back of the end zone. He's been great. Roman Hemby, their running back, the transfer from Maryland, he's been a stud. I mean, Signetti just goes and he recruits well at the high school level, but he also fills holes with the transfer portal. You know, he's shown the ability to go out and get some coveted transfers that can help his program immediately.
Not 5-star transfers.
Not 5-star transfers, but guys that can be instant impact. And like sometimes in the high school recruiting, those players are years away from seeing the field now. You've got to use the portal effectively. And you've used the portal effectively at the most important spot. Fernando Mendoza was a transfer from Cal. He was a Golden Bear last year. So he's found his guy, and, you know, they've got a system going. Tara looks really good with having Indiana as her national champion. I mean, with 2 games to go, she could run it and hit it, because I think Indiana's playing the best football right now of everybody. If I had to say who's playing the best football right now of all the remaining teams in the playoff, I would say that it's got to be the Hoosiers. And it was oversight by me not giving them more credit. I had Texas Tech beating them in my bracket, and Texas Tech is gone and Oregon advances. But I still feel Indiana here. That's my lean. We'll make picks later, but I got a lean, I think.
We don't have to make picks later.
Oh, we can make picks now?
Well, yeah, because we got to get to the wild card weekend, too, in the NFL and make
All
picks
right,
on that.
let's make picks now, then.
Look, before we make the picks, though, the key storylines. I think Signetti is one. The no 5 stars. We've talked about a couple. I think Mendoza, you just mentioned transferring in. That's huge. But I think since Cristobal left, that Oregon is proved that they're just a well-oiled machine, and maybe it doesn't matter as much who the coach of the Oregon Ducks is like it does in Indiana Hoosiers, and they just got another guy and another guy and another guy. They recruit really well in Nike Town, and people want to play, and they want to wear those Ducks jerseys.
The guy that went after Chip, what was his name? Willie Taggart. He was terrible. I mean, Oregon does miss sometimes with coaches, so.
Okay, I'll give you that. But,
yeah, he was bad.
I mean, look, it's Indiana that's the undefeated team. They're 14-0. They're the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that they beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl last time out was simply dominating.
Yeah.
Efficient offense, dominant defense, Heisman Trophy winner, future NFL blank draft pick, Fernando Mendoza. I mean, Indiana shut down major Big Ten offenses and has played really steady, strong defense against the run and the pass. They've got some assets tonight. The big question for Indiana, what is the question tonight? Can they maintain the suffocating defense and the efficient scoring punch? Because you want to go to a national championship like Miami did, you have to be good in all 3 phases to some certain extent.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's it going to take to punch their ticket to the title game? And this is a bounce-back game for the Ducks, right? This is a revenge game for the Oregon Ducks.
Yes.
They're 13-1. The one loss, of course, we know was to the Hoosiers.
Yeah, that's right. At home as well.
30-20. It was back in October. They lost by 10, 30-20. And if you look at Alabama just getting beat 38-3, 30-20, probably one of the closest contests Indiana faced all year long, right? That was a heck of a game. We didn't know how big that game was in October. Now we know how big a game that was in October because we get it again in a semifinal setting in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. And Jordan Davison's out with a broken collarbone. So Noah Whittington is going to be the lead running back. Jay Harris, I heard, went in the transfer portal, right? But he's still available for tonight's game and can play. You know, the rematch narrative.
Everyone talks about Indiana's offense, but they've got, I'm just making sure, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players on the first team all Big Ten defense. So, I mean, what they did to Alabama, 38-3. They didn't even allow Alabama and Ty Simpson to score a touchdown.
But Oregon's defense opened some eyes with what they did to Texas Tech.
They did.
I know Baron Morton is not a Heisman Trophy candidate, but that's a good Tech team.
It is.
And they got shut out.
And just for, to play devil's advocate, they have one player on the all Big Ten first team defense. Indiana has 5. So, Indiana's defense, what Oregon did to Texas Tech was super impressive. But I think if you give the advantage one way or the other on defense, I think you give Indiana the edge defensively, in my opinion. But that's just me. I think Oregon could play the same way they did against Texas Tech, and that would give them a nice shot to be in this game and win it. But I think they'll need another defensive performance, much like they got against Texas Tech, to win this game.
Bryce Botcher, their leading linebacker, he's the inside linebacker. 125 total tackles, tackling machine in the middle of the Oregon defense. They got Dylan Thieneman, the DB.
Yeah, he's a first team all.
He's legit. I think he's closing in on 100 tackles, versatile defender, active coming up in the run support, but can guard in the coverage situation. The Flowers, the other DB, is really good. Mixon, their other linebacker, is really good.
But there's a ton of top first day NFL draft picks. Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, the quarterbacks. The tight end for Oregon has been a guy I've been really intrigued by, and I'd like my team to take
Sadiq?
a look. Sadiq, yeah. He's like 6'5", big-bodied tight end, can catch.
He's kind of that new prototypical NFL tight end. He's big, he can block, and he can. And 490 yards this year.
Yeah.
Tight end, but he's a key function in the pass game.
So you'll see him.
The thing about Oregon is they've had some injuries to the receiving core.
Evan Stewart's been out all year.
Nobody has, I don't even think there's one Duck that sniffed 1,000 yards this year. They spread the ball around to Benson or Sadiq, DeCorian Moore, Jeremiah McClellan. They spread the ball around. And so, I don't know. It's
top receiver has 696 yards.
And that's Benson, Malik Benson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my point. So it's for Indiana. It's like pick your poison. You going to try to double team any of these guys? What are you going to do defensively? You just going to play sound base? Are they going to blitz Dante? Dante, if you blitz him and you don't get home, he can beat you with his legs. We haven't seen him turn it loose on the ground every game, but he is a very capable dual threat. How many rushing yards does Dante have this year, Paulie? Do you know that off the top of your head?
I don't know that off the top of my head, but I can find that. It looks like Dante Moore, 68 rushes for 184 yards.
A little less than I thought. We haven't really seen him turn it loose, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's that compared to Mendoza?
I don't think Mendoza runs much at all, but I could be wrong. In the games I've watched him, he's more of a prototypical pocket passer, but
240 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns for Mendoza.
So a little more running. So he runs more than I thought.
One of the more efficient quarterbacks in the country. I mean, you don't win the Heisman by not being well-rounded.
Yeah, that's true.
Did the Heisman lose its luster this year again, in your opinion? I mean, I know we talk about it. I think we care about it more than maybe other people in the country do nowadays.
Yeah, I think it lost a little bit of its, I think the year Travis Hunter won it over Genty, that kind of hurt the credibility of the Heisman. Because Genty put up the best running back season since Barry Sanders in the 80s for Oklahoma State, and he didn't win. And I get Hunter was the two-way, and it was a unicorn thing. I
love Mendoza's.
And I thought Penix should have won. What was that, 2 years ago, 2 years ago? I don't know. The Heisman, it hasn't been to the guys that I thought would win it. I didn't have any of the guys that were in New York.
You didn't have a problem with Mendoza winning it this year,
No. I didn't. He wasn't a guy I expected to make it to New York, or let alone win the Heisman. I had Jeremiah Smith and Lenora Sellers and Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah, and my pick was John Mateer, and he got hurt for 3 weeks in the middle of the season, and that kind of slowed things down a little bit there. Tried to come back pretty early from that injury. Still got Oklahoma to the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
So at least I had that going for me, even though he didn't get an invite to New York to the final.
So the
stage.
invites were Pavia, Mendoza, Sam.
Pavia to me, I mean,
it's a good story for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I know he's kind of an abrasive personality, but Vanderbilt football has been dormant forever. And at least he brought them some life into him.
I don't know.
Will Vanderbilt be number 14 in the coming future in the next couple of years, or this might be a one-off for them? I don't know. I mean,
Depends
I can't
on
tell.
what the war chest of NIL money looks like, Paulie. That's the honest truth.
That's right. That's true.
That is.
They got a good coach now.
What you're
so
looking at, that's going to be criteria one for me.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Well, these SEC schools have definitely got it. But I'll tell you something about the SEC. Because I was surveying how they've been doing during this bowl season.
Good, Paulie.
Not good at all. Texas
mighty-
A&M versus Miami loss. Ole Miss versus Tulane, you got to win. Alabama versus Indiana, loss. Mizzou versus Virginia, they lost. LSU versus Houston, they lost. Tennessee versus Illinois, they lost. Sorry, Tara. Vanderbilt versus Iowa, they lost. Michigan did beat Texas. And Mississippi State lost to Wake Forest, and Ole Miss lost to Miami. So
been a
the
really,
SEC,
really
where
bad
it just
bowl
means
season.
more. Hashtag it just means
Can
more.
we stop acting like the SEC is so mighty anymore?
Yeah, I mean the Big Ten,
The NIL
flexing
is,
their muscles.
The NIL has brought parity back to college sports because now you want to pay to play, you can compete.
You could go to
compete.
Texas Tech or Indiana
Or
places,
BYU for
or
heaven's
BYU.
sakes.
Yeah, I mean, man, it was crazy. The Kirby Smart and Nick Saban dominated an entire era of college football national title games, I feel like. It was Georgia or Bama for years before NIL happened. And Georgia and Bama are still in the playoff, but they're not reigning supreme over college football anymore. They're not every year in the national title game. I mean, you're right. It's made parity. It's changed college football.
Who you got tonight?
Oh,
I mean, this is going to be fun, right? Rematch, Oregon, Indiana. Here we go. What's on a lot riding on a spot in the Natty against Miami?
There's got to be a little bit of piss and vinegar from Oregon to beat Indiana after, upsetting them on their home field. It was an upset at that time before Indiana went undefeated. But I'm going to go Indiana here. I think Tara's right. She picked the best team. I think they've got the most complete team, defense, offense, special teams, and coach, Cignetti. I'll take him over Lanning in the coach matchup. I like Mendoza in the quarterback matchup, and I like Indiana's defense. So I don't know. I'm kind of all on the Hoosiers today. You're going the other way just because, but.
The Oregon Ducks
there you
are
go.
going to the national championship tonight. They are going to beat. I might be rooting too hard for the underdog here because the Ducks are minus. Indiana's minus 3.5. They're plus 3.5. The Ducks are.
Yeah,
but I like this Ducks team. It's almost like they're begging you at the 3.5 to take Oregon. I might be getting fooled by this. I might be underselling Curt Cignetti, who I've been very impressed with. It's just a hunch. Just a hunch, Paulie. I'm taking the Ducks. Quack, quack,
all right.
quack,
All
quack,
right.
quack,
They undid
quack.
you last year,
Ducks to
so
the
we'll
title.
see.
Ducks, Canes, Crystal Ball, Vince's former team that he walked on to go to the Canes that he played for. Oh, my. Good stuff. All right, when we come back, Salt Lake Trib had a really, really, really outlandish article on Kyle Whittingham. Did you see that, Paulie?
I did not.
Touch on that, and then we're going to dive into the wild card weekend. And we'll run down the games. We got Carolina and the Rams, Green Bay, and Chicago. Those games are tomorrow. Sunday, we got Buffalo and Jacksonville, and San Francisco and Philly, and then the Chargers and the Patriots. And then we got that game on Monday night, Steelers and Texans. So we got all those games to get to when we come back. Show today brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's Car Wash. They're celebrating 25 years. Today is the last day of free car washes. So if you're listening right now, go to Fabulous Freddy's today. The sun is shining finally. We had some rain yesterday again. Got hammered. Your car's probably dirty. Free car washes till they close the car wash at 7 p.m. tonight. Kicker. Paul, you know what I'm going to say here. You get 25 cents off as they celebrate 25 years at the pump.
Big time.
So instead of $2.90 a gallon or $2.80 a gallon, it's down to $2.75, $2.65, whatever it is. So gas prices have come down a little bit, which is
They have. They're under $3 now.
which is great. And you get an extra 25 cents off a gallon. So you got a 20-gallon tank. Yeah, it's $5 or $6. Plus, you're getting a free car wash. Why wouldn't you stop by? Fabulous Freddy's, one of their 2 Southern Utah locations. Got to take a break. We're back in a flash. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for locking us in, loading us up. It's the Drive Show today, brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Free body composition scans, a $35 value free now through the end of the month. They're doing a 60-day challenge, body transformation challenge. That's free, too. Some accountability. Go get that free scan. Just stop on by. No appointment necessary. Game Day Men's Health. Appreciate Coral Canyon, our friends at St. George Tent Shop. JC over at Color Country Custom Coating. Of course, Finley Hyundai. They've got some great, incredible deals if you need a new ride this month over there off Exit 13 in the Sienna Auto Mall. We've got Sienna Hills Auto Mall. We've got Jimmy John's helping us with the show. Our friends at Wilkinson's, One Health, Prime IV. We got some great local partners. Soda Weight Loss is joining us as a sponsor of the show starting Monday. So people are starting to catch on and wanting to be a part of what we're doing here on the Fan Sports Network. And thank you for listening. If you need anyone's products or services, we encourage you to do so. Go use them. We don't bring sponsors on that we don't believe in. And we got some great sponsors, Paulie. Unbelievable sponsors. Okay, so Paulie had not seen what I call the clickbait.
Yes.
From the Salt Lake Tribune.
And I see who it's by now, so kind of got an idea. I've seen a lot of articles like this from this guy.
Yes.
I have. Mr. Gordon Monson.
Yes. Mr. Gordon Monson.
Yes.
And obviously, they want you to subscribe. It was funny because I was scrolling through social last night, and I see Ben Criddle's post on this piece Gordon Monson did in the Trib on Kyle Whittingham. And at the very top, you know what I saw first? The red subscribe button.
Yes, they want to get you subscribed, but it caught somebody's attention, and that somebody is Melissa Whittingham, the daughter of Kyle Whittingham. And
okay, read.
I think it's important to read Melissa's statement first.
Okay, read Melissa's statement first.
The tweet. It was on X. She tweeted out.
Correct, yes.
23 hours ago.
Correct.
My dad devoted nearly 30 years of his life to Utah football. As his daughter, my whole childhood was shaped by the sacrifices my dad made for Utah football. Seeing a lifetime of loyalty, sacrifice, and dedication being dismissed so harshly now is heartbreaking. And that's in response to, it is a long article. I pulled up the actual article on the Trib.
Yeah.
Criddle and Ben is Criddle, obviously a big
BYU guy,
BYU
Provo
radio
ESPN
guy,
radio host.
Yeah,
good friend of the show.
Really good content creator and great radio guy. He kind of bookmarked this, and this is kind of the hit part of the article. This is from the Trib, Gordon Monson. The guy is Judas. He's not just a traitor. He's vindictive. A monster trying to destroy a program that cared about only as long as his name and ego were attached to it. And he's Beelzebub'd himself to BYU. I'm not really sure what that word is, but a program for which he played for all those years, but thereafter became a rival whose name he refused to utter while coaching against it. And stereotypic matters are stereophonic sound now from both the North and South. What a jerk, what a punk, what a traitor, what an assailant, assaulter, assembler, assassin. That's pretty powerful words there. So I agree with Melissa Whittingham here, or Melissa Kent. I think she goes by.
I think most people that have interacted with Kyle Whittingham would feel the same. Do you fans feel betrayed? Are they upset that Kyle's going to Michigan and saying Big Blue instantly? Yeah. But that doesn't make him all those things that he's writing about.
No.
And she's not wrong. Like, she probably missed out on a lot of fall break family trips. Instead, was probably at a football game watching her dad coach up other people's kids.
And she probably knows the behind-the-scenes stuff that I'm dying to know. Is why did Whittingham want to leave? Why did he want to be a free agent?
Well,
he said, I'm a free agent. While he was still employed by Utah, he said, I'm a free agent. I'm going into retirement. I'm wearing it down, and then he gets hired with Michigan and signs a 5-year deal. Like, it didn't make any sense to me, but it is what it is.
Paulie, come on. You know what's going on.
It's money.
You know what's going on.
It's prestige. It's Michigan football.
No, but you know what's going on. Somebody in-house wanted to move things along. Somebody with a private equity firm.
Or a donor or a group of donors, influential group.
They meant that Utah mishandled this. I'm convinced they should have let Kyle go out on his terms. Now, maybe Kyle wanted to go coach somewhere else. That's his right. That doesn't make him any of those things.
But why are they hurrying to get to the Scally era? I've heard smoke that I've heard is that there was a succession plan that was built long ago, and they wanted to hurry up the succession. Whether that mean pushing Whittingham to doing this, to becoming a free agent and ultimately hired by Michigan is one thing, but why are you so just dead set and chomping at the bit to get to the Scally era?
I don't know.
I don't understand that. He looked good in the Vegas Bowl, coached a good game, but Whittingham's a legend. Why not just let him ride out into the sunset with you, not Michigan? That's what I don't understand, and I never will. So, and it creates frustration from people. It absolutely does. And it gets articles like this from people like Gordon Monson. It's going to get the clickbait articles because you can spin it like this if you want. He's taken all the assistants from BYU and Utah. He's taken Jay Hill and Jason Beck and players, and he's rating. And there's a way to spin it like Whittingham is the bad guy.
100%.
There is. And that's what Gordon Monson's doing here.
But he's not at any of those things he wrote.
No, he's not.
Go read it if you want to.
That's
Don't
right.
subscribe to that crap. Come on, Gordo.
Yeah.
Come on, Gordo.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, everybody's fighting for eyeballs nowadays.
Sure.
Like, freedom of speech. Like, go ahead and write this. I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
I don't have to like it. I'm not as close as the beat writers, and I'm not as close to the Utah program, but I've had Coach Winningham on my show 12+ times over the years, and the guy's nothing but a class act, in my estimation.
Yeah.
And I remember him and Kalani. I was standing with him on a golf course, and the stuff he gets into at the BYU, oh my goodness, and some of the biblical terms, like, you're over the top here, baby. You're just trying to get eyeballs on your story, and it worked. We're talking about it. We're talking about it on the drive.
We are talking about it, but I'll segue here. Somebody that you used to be pretty heavily involved with and cover for years as the voice of the T-Birds. He's found his way back into Utah.
Yes.
Mr. Demario Warren.
I saw that. Yes. Demo, my guy.
He's the new defensive pass game coordinator and cornerbacks coach at BYU.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good to
and
see
here's
him
the thing
back.
about Demo. Great coordinator. He's been at Boise State since he left SUU. And when he came in after Ed Lamb went to BYU, and then he just wasn't a great head coach, just wasn't a great recruiter for the whole program, in my estimation. But he was great as a coordinator and a position coach. So I think that's a great hire because he can just dial in his area and he'll be fine. And he knows how to recruit his expertise on the defensive side of the ball. One of the nicest, most genuine guys I've ever met. I really cared about his players. Probably too nice in some ways to be a head coach. The other thing, real quick, before we get to break, then we're going to come back with Wild Card Weekend and finish up the show. LJ Martin coming back to BYU.
Yeah, that's big. He sat out the bowl game, but he's coming back.
Yeah, which I didn't think he was after he sat out the bowl game. I thought he would go to the NFL, and I thought he was going to be an early day 2 pick.
Yeah.
I really did. But Cougars will take it. Bear posted he's back. I mean, you're getting some guys in the portal saying they're coming back. The Utah State.
Kay Hillstead went back from BYU to Utah State.
To Utah State.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
good stuff.
A couple of in-state moves. Isaac Wilson as well found his way to Colorado. He's playing for Prime now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he transferred to Colorado just yesterday.
I thought he was going to stay at Utah. I really did. I thought he was going to stay.
I thought he was going to go to Utah State, but maybe McKay Hillstead took the spot. I don't know.
It could have been.
Yeah,
could have been.
He's going out to Boulder.
All right, Wild Card Weekend. Some prime cuts. Prime cuts. The Wagyu beef is going to melt in your mouth. We'll tell you who's winning this weekend in the National Football League when we come back on the Fan Sports Network inside the Finley Hyundai Studios. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's The Drive.
I didn't know Tara was back already.
This is, we got to get people used to the music.
Yeah.
The TA will be playing when we come back.
That's right. I like that one, though.
You like that one?
I saw him at the Super Bowl, actually. He was the halftime act.
Really? Oh, was
that was the Super Bowl I went to just a couple years ago.
I thought you guys had a private show the night before and saw somebody too or something.
No, we did a pregame thing.
Oh, pregame thing.
And the little pregame little party they had, who was it? Billy Idol.
Billy Idol.
Yeah, that's right. White Wedding and what are his other hits? He's got a few.
Yeah. He's got a few.
That's right.
I'm not a big Billy Idol guy. But,
me neither, but he was cool. He was there.
The NFL wants you to clear your schedule and find your nearest couch this weekend for Wild Card Weekend. The interesting thing about Wild Card Weekend is if you're a cord cutter and you don't have a YouTube TV or a DirecTV or a Dish Network or whatever the case might be, you're going to have to pay about $90 to watch every Wild Card game this weekend because they're on a bunch of different networks, right? Mm-hmm. CBS or Paramount Plus, Fox or Fox One, NBC, Peacock, Prime Video, the Bears-Packers game. If you don't have Prime Video and you're a Bears-Packers fan, you better find somebody that does or you better get it. So here we go. Wild Card Weekend, Paulie. Let's start in order of the games being played. 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. Everybody playing except for, this is going to sound so good, the Seattle Seahawks. They're kicking back, getting a little bye week, getting focused.
Getting all rusty.
And the Denver Broncos, same thing. Kicking back. Bo Nix going to, get some extra rest and see who the Seahawks and Broncos will play next weekend.
A little rusty, right? Getting a little rust built on
let's not go rest versus rust right out the gate. Come on now. All
right.
All right, let's start with the game. The Rams and the Panthers, and I'm not sure if it's clickbait or a fake account or not, but I was just scrolling through social media in the break, and somebody retweeted somebody saying there's a Aaron Donald maybe coming back to join the Rams for the playoffs. Is that fool's gold, Paulie? Have you heard anything about that? Coming out of retirement to chase another ring? Is that all made up, fictional? Because you can't believe everything you see on social media.
Yeah.
There's a ton of
there's
fake accounts,
a lot of fakes,
and bad information out there.
A lot of bad info. And since Elon took over Twitter, I feel like being the blue check mark, it doesn't matter anymore. Anyone can get a blue check mark these days, it seems. He's definitely changed up Twitter, but and there's a lot of smoke screens and stuff you got to wade through whenever you're looking on Twitter nowadays. But
he posted an insane post-NFL retirement workout session. So he's still working out.
Yeah.
But like, is this real or is this fake news? We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. That's something we can keep tabs on going
forward. I think it's, as of right now, it's fake news. That's my guess. But Rams still 10-point favorites. They are the biggest favorite of all the Wild Card Weekend games this weekend. What if anything, can Bryce Young and this Tet McMillan and Rico Dowdle and this Carolina team do to keep it close? Let's not forget they beat the Rams during the regular season.
And Bryce Young probably played his best game of his career in that game. He had 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's going to take another game like that for the Panthers to win this game.
Can they muck this one up? I mean, Rams should be pretty healthy. They've rested Devontae down the stretch. He should be okay with the hamstring.
They could do like the ball control thing and just try and run the ball with Rico Dowdle and Chuba and just try and grind up clock if they want to do that way and try and end every drive in a score. But when you run the ball and run clock and you don't score, it poses problems for the other team that can score quick, like the Rams with Puka and Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams and all those guys.
As big as this game is for Bryce Young, they've got to have the run game be better. The last 2 weeks, they had 99 yards on the ground and then 19 yards the week before that. So they need that 99 plus. You can't have 19 yards rushing against the Rams defense and put it all on Bryce Young, or you're going to lose.
That's right.
All right, 5 seed Rams at the 4 seed Panthers. Panthers got some help sneaking into the playoffs. They have the longest shot of all the teams to win the Super Bowl. Nobody has them upsetting the Rams. But against the spread, Paulie, that is the question. We're picking these games against the spread. Who do you got, Rams and Panthers? 10.5 points.
Yeah. I'm probably going to just lay the 10.5 with the Rams. I mean, I'd probably buy it a full point if I could, but if we're just going to play the straight numbers, probably go with the Rams.
I'm going with the Panthers at home. Big home dogs. I'm going to take the Rams to win, but I think the Panthers can keep it within 10. I am going to take the points in this game. I just think that's a lot of points in a playoff game, and you're going to get a maximum effort. You got a young coaching staff out there. You got a young roster in Carolina, eager to prove they belong in the postseason. I don't care about the records. They're at home. I'll take the points. Maybe the Seahawks fan of me coming out in that pick a little bit, huh? Let's go to Packers-Bears. It's your Saturday night prime game, 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Jordan Love, Caleb Williams. Here we go. Part 3 of the act.
Should be great.
Jordan Love, does he need to prove something in this game? We know Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson have a lot to prove in this postseason, that the regular season run was no fluke and that they're here to stay. It's kind of fun to have a fresh team like the Bears in the playoffs. Kind of makes me excited, although we've seen this matchup, and both regular season matchups were delightful. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
Packers are in the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. You got to go out there, whether you got experience or not. It's a playoff setting. The Bears don't have a lot of playoff experience as of late. Does that scare you whatsoever? Green Bay is 1.5 point favorites in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to go here. I think that everyone, especially in Utah, Jordan Love, being that he played at Utah State, is beloved here, and he had a decent year. 23 touchdowns, 6 picks. But I think Caleb had the better year, and I think the Bears are the better team. So I think I'm going to go Bears money line here. It's going around about even money, plus 100, plus 105, depending on where you look. But I'm going to go with the Bears in this game. I think they win at home in a big spot.
I also would take the Bears, but I wasn't thinking money line. I was thinking buy that 1.5 up to 2 because I think it's going to be a close game. Watch this. Ben Johnson's going to have some trick plays up his sleeve.
They'll have something.
He's going to have some
if they
wrinkles.
want to make a playoff run, they can't use all those bullets now. Maybe 1 or 2, maybe 1.
When are you not expecting it? The first play of the game,
maybe
the first drive,
punt or something. He'll mix in some stuff.
I'm just saying. 27.
I'm going Bears money line.
27-24 Bears.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the neighborhood of. The total opened at 47. It's all the way down to 44.5. People expecting a little more defense and cold weather in this game. I'm going to go over. I'm going to say it is 28-24. Yeah. 28 or 31-24. I'm
31-24.
sorry. 7-point win for the Bears.
Bills, the 6th seed at the 3 seed. Jags, Sunday, 11 a.m. here in the Mountain Time Zone. Sean McDermott has never won a road playoff game as Bills head coach. He is 0-5. Jacksonville and T-Law are red hot, but a lot of people putting a lot of hype on this Buffalo Bills team, saying this is Josh Allen's window. This is the year the Bills got to get to the Super Bowl. I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. I am taking Jacksonville in this game.
Okay.
I'll take the 1.5. I think they're at home dogs. T-Law, Parker, Washington. I really don't believe in the Bills' defense. I haven't believed in the Bills' defense all year long, and unless they can all of a sudden mend the fence and dial it in and slow down Jacksonville, I think I like Jacksonville at home. Everybody's picking the Bills.
Yeah.
Including you.
I'm going to go Bills, I think. Yeah.
Including
money
you.
line, not
and
the
look,
points.
I don't like betting against Josh Allen.
But I just think that it's really this year or never for the Bills. I mean, I just think this is really the test where if they could get through just the Jaguars, get into the divisional round, I think that they can make a run to the Super Bowl potentially. So this first round game going to be tough on the road. Jags, who are hot, have won 8 in a row. So we'll see. But I'll go Bills.
Yeah, I'm going Jags 27-23.
Okay.
27-23. Niners, the 6th seed. At the Eagles, the 3 seed.
Yeah. This one's easy for me. I'll go Niners to cover, but Philly to win.
Is it 5? 4.5, 5?
Yeah,
the
it's
spread's
like
sitting.
5.
He's kind of been sitting at 4.5 most of the
It's
week.
weird. I mean, if you think it's a 3-point game, then it's a Niners bet. But I think the Eagles are going to win at home.
Eagles are the only team that was a top 4 seed last year in the playoffs that's now a top 4 seed in the playoffs this year. Only team in the league. They're at home. I worry about Jalen Hurts in the offense, Saquon Barkley,
They
AJ Brown. It
rise
just
up
seems
come playoff
dysfunctional.
time, though. They do. They rise up.
But I think after seeing Seattle shut down San Francisco and McCaffrey in San Francisco, I think the Eagles' defense will be too much. I will take the Eagles as well in this one.
Okay.
I'll say 27-20, Eagles by 7. I'll lay the 4 and a hook. All right, so that leaves us Chargers, Patriots. This is in Foxborough, the 7-seed Chargers at the Patriots. It's on NBC. It's your Sunday night game. Justin Herbert been playing through this fractured left hand all year. They rested him in the last week of the regular season. He should be good to go. Herbert versus Drake May. I'm excited about this quarterback matchup. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think this is gonna be a great matchup here. I worry about the offensive line of the Chargers. So give me the Patriots. I will swallow the 3.5. I'll buy it to 3. I'll take the Patriots -3. I think they win 24-20.
Yeah, I think there's too much issues with Herbert, the injuries, and the offensive line that's been in shambles all year. Give me the Patriots, who haven't played anybody, but Travion Henderson's trending up. Drake May's been an MVP candidate. Give me the Pats. I'll lay the 3.
I will put in one caveat. If Omarion Hampton goes bananas, Chargers can win this game.
Okay.
Chargers can win this game.
Caveat.
We'll pick the Steelers-Texans game on Monday because we'll have a show on Monday. So we both have New England. You have the Niners. I have the Eagles, but you have the Eagles to win. You're just taking the points.
Yeah.
I've got the Jags, the money line. You got the Bills.
Yep.
I've got the Bears, and so do you.
Yep.
And
I got the Rams. You got the Panthers.
I got the Panthers plus the 10.5. I do think the Rams win.
Yeah.
Which means they could be in Seattle
That's right.
next weekend, unless Green Bay wins.
Yeah.
So maybe I want to switch my Green Bay pick. I'd rather face the Packers than the Rams. I might throw that switch in there really quick. Proud about that aspect of it. Oh my gosh, we are out of time. Show just flies by. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. Busy on a Friday. Tune in high school basketball tonight from the field house at Crimson Cliffs. It's the Mustangs and the Tigers. We'll have it on the simulcast presented by the Boulevard. We'll also be streaming a second game tonight, Dixie at home. You want to watch that game? Links will be up on our socials, our website, as well as our YouTube page. You guys, we got to go. You've been great. See you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday, actually, from the Finley Hyundai Studios. It's been The Drive.